Well, it's August 23rd and we're getting ready to do our Yellowstone hike. We're at the Heart Lake trailhead, and today we'll be hiking down to campsite 8J1, which is about 9.5 miles. We're on a 5-day backpacking, or 5-night, 6-day backpacking trip, and we'll cover about 50 miles. So come along with us, enjoy the scenery. It's a little hazy because of smoke from California and some local fires here. But it should be partly sunny, so you should enjoy. You done? I'm done.
Walk forward, Jerry. Alright, now we're approaching Heart Lake. From way up on the hill, you can see it. And we're in the thermos right now, starting some thermos here. Well, we made it to the lake down in the meadow before the ranger station, and it's a pretty good shot of Mount Sheridan. And across the meadow back to the ranger station, and Hot Rod taking a break. And that's the trail to our campsite. We're going to be going that way around the lake.
Good morning. We're at campsite 8J1. That's on Heart Lake, and it's a beautiful campsite if you like looking at the lake. It's a little tight for the tents compared to the cooking area, but it's not bad. Well, yesterday we covered about 9.5 miles, and let me tell you what, the first 8 miles were okie dokie. After that, this guy got sick, and the last 2 miles was about 2 hours. No, the last mile and a half was about
Probably.
2 hours. it was go about 200 feet and stop and throw up. It was a rough day for me in the last couple hours. I don't know why. Maybe it was a little to do with not eating enough, not drinking enough, probably because I didn't hardly drink anything or eat anything. And then we had the altitude adjustment, you know, being in South Florida at 28 feet above sea level, then you're about 7,500 here. So it does affect things for sure. This guy here even got a little sick. Not bad, right?
Yeah, I just didn't eat enough. Waited too late to
Yeah,
eat.
neither one of us felt hungry. We should have eaten more anyway. So anyway, we're getting ready to take off. We're going to do about 7 miles a day. We're going on down the lake, and we're going down to a campsite that's on the Heart River, do some fishing. And that's, I believe, 8C5, is that right?
Sounds right, but I'm not sure.
Not sure either. We'll double check that. Anyway, we'll catch you from down there, and we'll take some shots on the way down. We're going to do a little fishing right here on the lake for a few minutes, and then move on.
Well, we have a porcupine.
Well, howdy, my name is Mr. Clean and I'm out on the Continental Divide Trail. I started May 1st at the Mexican border, and we're about 30-40 miles south of Old Faithful in the Yellowstone National Park, and I'm out here having more fun than you are watching YouTube. That's what I'm up to. I don't really know what else to say for Dan's video.
That works fine.
We haven't seen any bears yet, and it is all good out here on the CDT.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That ain't good. Well, I'm gonna have to get my shoes wet. I thought I could beat it. I thought I could beat it.
It was a good run.
There's a bubbling brook for my mother. We were just here a moment ago,
and we filled up our water to our water filters. So it's a beautiful location here, and the sound is wonderful.
Well, we just came across this marsh. We are trailblazing trying to find the trail. We saw a trail marker, an orange one, and it ended at the river. Couldn't find a campsite near there. We're trying to follow the GPS. The trail was across the river, but there's no trail that we can find. So we're trying to follow game trails and whatever else, trying to work our way back south. And we're going to see if we can make it where we're trying to go.
Hey Jared, how'd your day go today?
It was okay. It was a bit frustrating.
Why was it frustrating?
Well, started out this morning. The carabiner that held up my backpack on the bear pole snapped. Luckily it happened when we were lowering it, not in the middle of the night, but it still snapped. Next thing is, I attempted to go fishing. I had what I thought was a good knot on there, on the fluorocarbon line. First cast, my Jake Spinalure comes off and goes into the bushes or the dirt somewhere. Didn't even make it out into the water. So then I put on a couple new lures, and then I've been having a tough time with it knotting up. I don't know if it's a combination of line twist or the fact that it's fluorocarbon, it's a bit stiffer and just kind of wants to jump off the reel, but I was getting a lot of kind of backlash almost on the spinning reel, so that wasn't good. Then the next piece is we're trying to find our campsite, which is 8C5. Can't find the trail anywhere. Cannot find it. We knew we had to cross the river. We crossed the river. We're trying to use a mapping program with GPS where we had the campsite matched. It was uploading slowly, so we'd go one direction. It seemed like we're going the correct direction. Then when it updated, it actually was saying we were going in the wrong direction. We tried to go towards where we knew the trail should be, and then there was a big mountain and trees that were all down, and it would have been brutal. So we ended up bushwhacking multiple directions through.
Went to the compass, and she used the compass to get here then.
Yeah, so we used the compass, and the compass helped us a lot, but we ended up having to bushwhack 1.5 miles through all kinds of marsh and game trails with big moose footprints and mud, and then walked up the river with big boulders, which is difficult. And so that last 1.5 miles seemed like it was 3 or 4 miles. Today was supposed to be a short day, 6.7 miles, ended up being 8 miles. And we also can't forget that yesterday, when my dad was sick and throwing up, he lost his sunglasses somewhere. So this morning I backtracked up the trail and had to go backwards. I ended up finding them, not on the first pass, but on the way back when I thought I wasn't going to find them. I did find his sunglasses, so all is well there, but that also added a bit more to my day. So by the time I got to the campsite here, the wind of course picked up again. It's really windy and I'm tired, and I'd like to try fishing again, but I don't think that's going to happen this evening.
You couldn't fish this evening because you throw a line.
Yeah, so we're gonna try it again in the morning, but I gotta wait for it to warm up first. I'm a Florida boy, and when it's cold in the mornings here, I don't want to do anything until that sun gets up pretty good. So,
what kind of wildlife you see today?
Well, we saw a porcupine. So Dad was walking in front of me, and he didn't even see it. He walked within 4 feet of me, and I saw this black thing moving, and I'm like, "Hey, Dad!" And he's like, "Oh, Lord, and good God," he said. And it was a porcupine. It was pretty cool. Very docile. Didn't run away from us, but he had his quills up and made sure his back end was facing us. And then after he realized we weren't attacking him, he kind of looked up, put his head up towards us, and it was fun. I'd never seen a porcupine before. And that's really the only wildlife that I can recall seeing today, other than some chipmunks, squirrels, plenty of birds we heard and saw, but that was it.
Yeah, we had a few bear signs on trees, but no bear scat or anything.
Yep, just scratches on 2 trees I saw from bears. Looked like they were smaller ones, either juvenile grizzlies or possibly black bears. was a real pretty area. I commented that I think bears like the same areas that people like. It was big old growth trees. There was no underbrush. It was just pretty grass, almost like a meadow within the trees. It would be a great spot to have a cabin. We walked through it and enjoyed that, but the bear made sure it marked its territory so we knew whose territory it was.
All right, we'll see you in the morning then. We're signing out for tonight, and we're going to take some dinner, and we'll catch you in the morning before we head out to whichever campsite we're going next.
Well, it's really cold this morning, and it's evidenced by my socks. Our feet got really wet yesterday crossing over the rivers, and I put my socks outside to dry underneath the fly of the tent. Go to pick them up this morning, and they are completely frozen. You ever been able to stand a sock up on its end? They are frozen socks. So that's some of the downsides to camping out here.
Good morning. Here we are again at morning in the Yellowstone National Park. We're at campsite 8C5 still, getting ready to leave. We're packing up this morning, and we're headed around the south side of the lake up to the west side to campsite 8H1. We had a real interesting night and morning. Lots of coyotes, a lot that were howling during the night, elk bugling. This morning the sand cranes have been going crazy. This is a pretty nice campsite. It's got everything you need here, water, nice separation between the campsite and the bear pole and a fire pit, and restroom area where you do your cat hole business. But anyway, we're going to be picking up and getting out of here. Anything to add, Jared? He's quiet this morning.
Socks were frozen solid this morning.
It was 29 degrees this morning, so our socks from crossing the river here were wet, and they were frozen solid. So we got them thawed out.
No, a little more than thawed out. Singed the socks on the rocks. So we have some burn marks on the socks this morning.
Yeah, that's typically what you got to do.
Well, we're just getting started this morning. Jared's getting some water, did a little fishing first. Now he decided to restore some water. That's we just came from our campsite over there. You might be able to see the horn stick on the tree. And we're going, I've crossed the river already. We're going to be going south and back around Heart Lake. You can see off in the distance is Mount Sheridan, way up there. You can see snow still on top of it. Well, here's the way we're going to be going today.
No salt on you? I wish we had a nice lake. I don't know where they have a lot of lakes where they sand.
Well, we're making a stop at Snake River so Jared can do a little fishing, and I'll just show you around. It's a beautiful valley. The river comes through here, and it's the only place we're going to cross it today, but it's a nice valley. Give you a picture, and Jared's starting to do his thing, playing around, see what he loves to fish. He don't care if he catches, just as long as he fishes. Works out good for everybody. So that's the direction we'll be going shortly. And then we're going to turn back north, headed up on the west side of Heart Lake.
I'll tell you right now, man, this is worth it. Just doing this. I hadn't See my dad off in the distance there, kind of surveying the meadow, looking for wildlife. We just crossed the Snake River, and we're moving onward.
All right, we made it to the Basin Creek Cutoff Trail, and we're going to turn back up north. So we had a great morning so far. Man, it's been beautiful. Snake River fishing. Didn't catch anything, but it was great.
All right, we definitely have some bear scat here. You can see all the berries inside of it, and looks pretty fresh. Probably a black bear, not sure. There's some more right down here, but we've got a bear in the area, so maybe we get a chance to see one at a safe distance.
Well, you can see we're in bear country. There's a scratching tree, then scratches all the way up there, very high. And look around here, it's got fur all over it, it's rubbed on it.
This one's a blonde.
A blonde bear.
Look up here.
We have a gigantic bear scratch up here. That is close to 10 feet tall, the reach is. That's between 9 and 10 feet. My dad here is 6'3" and ½ an inch, and you can see how high that is. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, every 20 feet a tree is scratched up, marking territory in here. We are in major bear habitat. Haven't seen anything yet, and surely don't want to get startled by one. But we are seeing some very large bear markings. We just came out of the woods, coming back down to Heart Lake, and been walking for 3 days. Haven't found any berries this year, and now I found a few. I have found some wild raspberries. A few of them are ripe, and there's also a very pretty flower. Okay, we just arrived at our campsite 8H1, and it goes up the trail a little ways. But if I'm going to turn around here and show you where we're going to spend a little time, what does that look like, huh? Is that beautiful or what?
I think I see a
That's
couple
Heart
fish.
Lake. And Jared's getting excited about fishing.
I see a couple fish. I got my first cutthroat trout. He's beautiful. He's beautiful. Well, I didn't get to hold him very long. He got away. But that's my first cutthroat trout. Beautiful. Beautiful. Doesn't get any better than this.
Good morning. It's day 4, and it's been raining most all morning. We slept in late because of the rain, but we're going to hang out here one more night, fish on the lake down here. We're about 150 yards from the lake probably, and we'll just hopefully it doesn't rain. If sun comes out, it rains. Sun comes out, but anyway, it's just part of backpacking. Man, we had a great day yesterday, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Yesterday was an awesome hike. We covered about 7.5 miles, but it was slow rolling hills. Wasn't too steep. It was a lot of inclines, but they were very easy. They weren't steep. Very well graded. And we came through some beautiful areas, across the Snake River, did some fishing. Then we came into some beautiful valleys, a lot of pine forest we came through. We seen Lake Sheridan, which was beautiful. Couldn't get to it to fish, it's too marshy all the way around, but it was a beautiful lake. And the area we came through where bears were amazing. Every tree on the trail was just scarred up with bear claws. Just tree after tree after tree. Some bear scat here and there, so there's definitely bears in the area. And we got here. What'd you hear last night, Jared?
I'm pretty sure we heard a bear.
Well, what'd it do? What did it
We heard
sound
something
like?
in the distance. We heard something kind of going.
Yeah. The bear was coming down through the woods last night, but we didn't see him. Well, it was very comfortable. We got a nice spot up on the hill here, overlooking the lake, and we're at our campsite, obviously where we cook and where we hang our bags on a bear pole. Anyway, we're going to hang out here today, kind of rest up. I am beat up from the first day where I just absolutely did not drink enough and didn't eat enough, and then I think the not training this time for this trip and going up and down the steep grades, being out of shape, altitude, all contributed to me getting messed up the first day. Took me about the third day to recover. I feel really, really good today. Ate a big breakfast, having another cup of coffee, and enjoying the beautiful scenery here. So we'll film some more a little later today, and hopefully it doesn't rain too hard on us, but right now just about right. Anything else you want to add? I guess my partner.
Well, I think that yesterday was it was really diverse as far as the scenery. We got to go through big wide open meadows to where the visibility you could see for miles, and then there are areas where we were just framed by big mountains, most of the biggest being Mount Sheridan, but we crossed over different rivers, got to fish in the Snake River, which was just wonderful, beautiful and clear. And then I guess there was a lot of diversity in terrain. Like when we went to that Sheridan Lake or Lake Sheridan, the way it was surrounded by marshes with Mount Sheridan behind it was a dramatic visual. And then we went through these gladed out areas where all the bears were, where it was old growth trees, there wasn't any undergrowth, and there was just green grass in a shaded area with these
hills. Beautiful, beautiful setting. As I've said before, bears like the same places we like. If you,
That's a fact.
if you'd like to put a cabin somewhere, a bear would too. and so
Every time we noticed, we came here, he said, boy, this is beautiful. Be bear scratchings everywhere. Yep, well, bears like this too.
yeah. So that was a pretty neat day, and I've been looking for berries for days and days, and finally came across them yesterday. Just right over here where we're staying, there's a bunch of raspberries and either some blueberries or huckleberries. They weren't that sweet though, and there's a lot of other berries out here. I just don't know if I could eat them or not. I don't know enough about them. There's black ones, there's these kind of translucent red ones, a lot of different types of plants and vegetation in the area. And then this morning, as I'm sure you'll see when the video is completely put together, but I got a lot of video of pikas and their nests right below where we are. Kind of, they're building their winter nests, and then they're barking, warning whenever I come into the area. But that was pretty neat. So we've had a lot of diversity over the past few days of what we've seen, and it was extremely pleasurable. What made yesterday really nice too was the weather. It was just the right temperature with just enough of a breeze to keep us cool, and can't say enough about it. But so far so good. Now if this rain goes away today, I'm going to do some more fishing, and hopefully I'll actually catch something. I enjoy fishing, and I don't care if I catch something, but I'd like to get one. I'd like to see a cutthroat up close. We'll see if that happens.
All right, I want to turn the camera off. It's going to start picking up rain here. He's getting pretty wet. So catch you a little later.
Well, we're down on the lake now, so Jared can do a little fishing. Boy, is it windy. It's blown my tripod over a couple of times. It is really, really windy. But it's pretty, it's beautiful.
Look at that, this sucker caught a fish that fast. That was truly a bite, or not?
That was a bite.
That was a bite. Look at that. Look at that, he's beautiful. Come here, little guy. Come here. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Come here. Come here. So slick. Come here. Hey, he's hooked. There we go. Got away again. He was bit. All right, he shook it. Here we go. Beautiful.
I didn't get him, I don't think.
That was a true cutthroat, buddy. Oh, he threw it.
It's a little one.
It's got some fight in him though, huh? Get a fish.
legs off.
Looks like Jared's trying to be a bull elk. He's happy because he's caught a lot of fish today.
These things are a lot heavier than they look too.
It's a miserable day today. It rained all night long. At least it's not as cold as it has been. But it is so cold. Or cold enough that with the rain, it actually was hailing on us earlier. You can see that just outside the tent, it's soaked. Therefore, my shoes that just dried out yesterday are soaked. I had them sitting right up here, and they were getting splashed all night, and the wind was driving the rain. And so now I'm dressed up in my rain gear and everything else, waterproof socks and all that, trying to stay warm. Hopefully it'll quit, otherwise it's going to be a miserable day. Well, we tried to outweight the weather, and looks like the weather has outweighted us. It is somewhere around 10 o'clock or so, about 43 degrees and raining, and it's pretty miserable. We're trying to pack up our tent and hike just to get warm. My toes are freezing off, my hands are cold. It's not been a pretty day, but this is the price to pay to get to enjoy wonderful places like this when the weather's good. It's cold. It's sleeting on us. I'm freezing. My fingertips feel like they're about to fall off. We're trying to make it to our campsite, but God, am I cold and wet. We were taking shelter for a moment, trying to warm up our fingers inside a kind of a huddle of trees, if that's a word for it.
It's our 5th day, and I didn't record any this morning. It's been raining all night, all morning. It was 41 degrees when we started hiking this morning and trying to snow. And I want to show you what direction we came from. And you can see it's been snowing above us. That's Mount Sheridan. And it has been raining and sleeting down at the bottom. It's been cold and miserable. But it finally has let up a little bit that I can do some filming. But it's beautiful. But it was a tough, cold morning for my son for sure. He was not a happy camper today. So we're about to our campsite, and we're going to set our tent up and get everything dried out, and you can see Heart Lake there, and get warmed up and have some hot chocolate.
Well, good morning again. We're done for the day, believe it or not. It's still not, I don't think it's noon. Very short route today. We're gonna do some more fishing. We're on the northwest corner of Heart Lake. And as we said earlier, we came through a snowstorm.
It's actually snowing a little bit right now still.
Yeah, it's snowing right now. So it's been a great day anyway. We enjoy the view behind us. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Just you can't get any better than that. Yeah, it was a little rough, a little cold, a little wet, but it was worth the nickel to get here.
This is what it looks like when you go through a rainstorm or a snowstorm and 40 degrees and about 30-mile-an-hour winds. Kind of drying out now, getting everything aired out. We have been fortunate. They cleared up a little bit, so we got some sunshine. But it got pretty wet.
Okay, Hot Rod, what'd you think about today so far?
Well, I'm feeling a lot better now. I was cold this morning. It was so cold. My outfit got wet inside somehow. I don't know if it was condensation or getting through the pockets or what, but I started out cold. I got much colder with the wind and the rain and the snow. And I feel a lot better now that I got some sun and switched into a dry shirt.
And eat some macadamia nuts. Yeah.
You got to fuel the furnace, and that was part of the problem probably too.
Doing good. Well, my son got me tonight. Old Hot Rod was laying on his back, kind of sleeping. I was daydreaming here, and we're inside the tent. It's just pouring down, raining. So we're just kind of taking it easy and waiting for it to hopefully stop raining, but I don't think it's going to, so we can get some dinner later. But he made a kind of a bear growl as he's snoring, and at the same time he jerked and hit the tent. Let me tell you, that got my attention. So he got me that time. Oh, you know, the life and the fun times on the trail. We'll talk to you later. Here's some sounds that we hear during the night from our tent. You're looking at the Ranger's hut on top of Mount Sheridan. It's way, way up there, and I'm heavily zoomed in. I'm going to try to back out without shaking too much. You'll see how far I am up there. It's a long way up there, 3,000 foot elevation climb, and we're not doing it. No way.
Oh, I didn't start that.
Now, folks, that is good. Breakfast essentials and coffee together. Whew. Bring it to the front.
Doesn't take much to make you happy there, does it?
Not on the cold morning. Not on a cold morning. Well, this is day 6 for us. And we had a very difficult day yesterday. Short day, but tough. But boy, was it wonderful last night. It rained to about 12:30 in the morning. And then the coyotes started going, and we think a wolf pack also, because there was 2 different packs it sounded like, and one was much deeper voiced than the other one. So it sounded like it was a pack of coyotes and a pack of wolves. And we heard them most of the night. I didn't get them on audio track, but later on earlier this morning, about 4 or 5 o'clock, they started, the coyotes started going again, so I got them on track for sure. And a single coyote we seen yesterday over here was going off even a couple hours after daylight. We're watching the squirrels go back and forth, and this one squirrel is running this one single path back and forth, carrying pine nuts. There he goes again right now.
No, big pine cone, yeah.
Big pine cone. They're scurrying, getting ready for winter, because it's getting close to winter. Big snow up on the mountain, you can see. We're sitting right here on the lake, getting ready to pack up here in about a half hour, do a little fishing, and then we're going to head up to the car, which is about 8 miles up the mountain, about 1,000 foot elevation climb. So we'll see if I can make it that far today. All right, we're still climbing. We're almost 8,000 feet. And the summit, it's probably 8,200. So we got a ways to go, but almost there. I'll show you the view when we get up towards the top.